When the Lama goes to other places, I already explained that yesterday, so we can combine yesterday with today. When the Lama goes to other places, you should be very organized. You should have everything prepared. That literally the Lama just shows up and gives teachings, and when he finishes, he goes. Everything else in between should be prepared and done. Why? What do you want your Lama to do? Give teachings? Or be the agent? Agent to the Rinpoches. What do you think your Lama should do? So everything should be prepared. In talking to the person, making arrangements, talking to the committee, and letting the appropriate people in the center know what's going on, and let everybody know what's the schedule so they can rejoice. They can be happy, and they're kept up to date. Everybody will be happy if their Rinpoche is teaching other places. And when they teach, and let other people know. And then once you've arranged with the people, you should go up there and scan the place and check it out and see what needs to be set up, what needs to be put of a throne, a cushion, or what's appropriate, what's allowed. And talk with those people very nicely. Let them know about protocol. If they can follow it, fabulous. If they don't, you did your part by explaining to them. If they don't follow protocol, doesn't mean that they don't deserve Dharma. No. They don't want to prostrate, they don't have to prostrate. They don't want to offer a kata because they find it looks strange. They don't have to. But if you explain, you talk to them nicely, confidently, there's no problem with that. And then, after that, you make sure the transfer for your Lama is arranged, the clothes is arranged, the robes, and everything's arranged, so your Lama literally shows up. And we should always walk in front of the Lama, always. When we're traveling with the Lama, when we're with the Lama, when we're going out with the Lama, we should always go in front. We don't make the Lama wait. We don't make the Lama open the door. We don't make them scream and look for you. The Lama should never look for the assistants. The assistants should look for the Lama, always. Why is that? How does it look for your practice of awareness? How does it look for your thinking that the Dharma you have received is sacred? And what is an impression it leaves to other people? Is this how you treat your Lama? He's nothing, certainly. So if they think your Lama is nothing, then they also think the Dharma they're receiving is nothing. So you do incredible damage. Why do you do incredible damage? Because you are always letting your Lama chase after you, which makes him look very bad. Very bad. So if you make him look bad, he may be compassionate, and he do it 100 times over, but you collect incredible negative karma. Why? Because the impression you leave with other people and what they see and the impact it makes on their mind, whether the teachings are valuable or not. They make stars look great. They promote stars. They get them in the best light, take good pictures, make sure they always look, they fix up the pictures in the computers. What is that called when you fix it up? Huh? Touch up in pictures to make sure they look great for stars, so they can create more business, so more people like them, more people see their movie or listen to their music or whatever. They do more. So if they do more for just stars to make more business, certainly for your Lama, you would like more people to listen to the Dharma so they respect him and they will feel it's something sacred. If you don't treat your Lama well and you treat him like dirt and you always make him chase after you, you always make him repeat himself over and over, and people see this and hear this, they're not going to think your Lama is anything. If they don't think your Lama is anything, you created that in their mind. You created that in your mind with your laxity, your laziness, and your selfishness, and your habituations. You created that. That's the image you've portrayed to the world about your Lama. Again, truth be told, it's a little sensitive. I'm not here to tell you, treat me like royalty, but I'm telling you the facts. If the Lama says, where is this, do this, just repeat over and over again, why does a Lama even need assistance? Why have assistants who the Lama have to remind to do things all the time? Obviously, they're not assistants. They're people who are loafing around looking for a free ride. Obviously. So if you let that happen again and again and again, it reflects your insensitivity. It reflects your lack of respect. And for people who have the potential to receive the Dharma and get respect, you might even lead them to that direction also. Also. You don't have to sit there on your hands and knees like this with your Lama all the time. You can do it a modern way. Be alert. Be available. Have things ready. You don't have to get on your knees and offer a Lama a cup of tea, but make sure in between breaks that, before you drink your cup of tea, the Lama has a cup of tea. You don't have to walk from the kitchen to the throne on your knees and then lay down on your chest and offer it up with one finger balancing with respect. You don't have to do that. But if the Lama says, "Can I have a Milo?" and you say, "Oh yeah, all right, I'll be there in a minute when I finish my drink." How does that look? And the Lama says, where's my mala? Where's my bag? Where's this, where that? Okay, in a closed environment like this where everybody knows you're a little loafing, loser, parasite monster, fine, they accept you, they forgive you. But if you're out in public and you do this, this loafing monster will create a horrible image for your Lama and for your center, and a horrible example for the future for people. Like I said, your Lama can do a lot of things much better than you in some cases. So why does he need this? It's an image. Why is image important for the Lama who's not attached? Because he's dealing with people who are attached. Because he's dealing with people who are image conscious. Very simple. And the first thing they see is how you treat your Lama. The first thing you see. First thing anyone sees. So if you treat your Lama like garbage, you sit around rude, you're always snoring away, you're always burping, you don't care, you forget, you have to be reminded over and over. And then His Eminence, His Royal Eminence of Tibet, His 19th incarnation, the emanation of Manjushri Buddha, His Divine Presence, Tsem Tulku Rinpoche is here. And then you have a bumbling, idiotic assistant dropping things, knocking things over, forgetting things, locked Rinpoche out, forgot his key. He's smelly. Rinpoche's clothes are smelly. The car is smelly. What's with His Eminence? His Eminence, my foot. His Eminence to go take a bath and wash his clothes. And then if His Eminence is so great, why can't His Eminence have great assistants? Why doesn't His Eminence have great sponsors? Why doesn't His Eminence have great liaisons or people around him? If he's so great. If he's so great and everybody around him is not, either he's highly compassionate and he's taken on a special vow to suck in all the leftovers of the world, which is fine, but new people are not going to see that. So you can get all the leftover refuse of the world with your Lama. No problem. Your Lama loved them just like anybody else, but he's not going to be able to make his teachings penetrative and effective. Because how do you treat him? What's the image you portray? What's the type of people you surround him with? What's the kind of assistants you surround him with? How do they dress? How do they look? Do they spit when they talk? Think. When the assistants are organized and mature, not by age, by mind, and they're care and they're conscientious and they do things, and they're alert and they're there to help, it promotes a very big image. Heck, secretaries and receptionists are so important for CEOs before you enter an office, for doctor's offices, whatever. It leaves you an impression. What about a Lama? They just clean your teeth or give you a business deal. Your Lama brings you to enlightenment. So if you go to the Lama's receptionist, is a bumbling little parasitic idiot that doesn't care, and you've told them 5,000 times to do this, and they're still sitting there looking at you with puckered lips, what do? What's the image it portrays? It's not criticism, good or bad. If they don't care, how will you inspire other people to care? If they don't care, if they don't give a hoot, how are you going to inspire others? So is that the image you want to give your Lama? And if you give that image to your Lama, you waste your Lama's time. The people he can attract, the people he can talk to, the people he can reach, the people that can help the Dharma to grow, the people that can sponsor in any way, shape, or form, not just monetary sponsorship, will be lost because those people will look at the bumbling people around them, and that will be a reflection of who they're serving. The servant and the one being served must resemble each other, right? Very simple. And then after the Lama gives the Dharma discourse, what do you want to do? A, pass out his business cards, call his assistants and hook up. B, throw his cards to the crowd and catch. Or are we organized and we say, okay, this is our committee, we go for these teachings, and I will talk to 5 people, I will talk to 5, you talk to 5, and we talk. And not all 5 people target one nice little girl they see there. Oh, let me talk to you, let me pass you my card. Another one, talk to you, pass the card. Another one, pass you, talk to the card. No, not like that. Be organized so that after the Lama gives a Dharma talk, there's all these potential Buddhas to be in the audience. That if we're organized and pass our Kichara House business cards and websites and we go and talk to them, we might be able to bring the Dharma to them. Or they might help you or us to bring the Dharma to many other people. We're talking about building Gandenlachi for $35 million. You know, want to build Gandenlachi? How do you think we're going to build it? Sitting in this room teaching Dharma to each other and asking money from each other for the rest of eternity? Come on. So we asked each other, can you give 35 million? Can you give 35 million? Shin said, I can give you $10. Oh, good. We have 34,999,000 whatever to go. Come on, think. How are you going to get help to help Ganden? How? And we make all these Dharma books, and we make 2,000, 3,000. Well, each one of us buy 20? How? Where? Where does the connection come from? The Lama always attracts the people in. The Lama always will get the people in. Whether they stay or not is dependent on the student. Let me repeat again. The Lama always attracts the people. Whether those people stay or not will depend on the student. How wonderful the Lama is if the student are nightmare, irresponsible, uncaring, difficult people, those people will run. Because why? Those are the first people they see and the last people they see. In between is a Lama. You want the Lama to raise funds? Got to get organized. You got to make sure the Lama does nothing but the Lama's job. Nothing. Think of it as marketing. Think of it as marketing. Either the Lama's the driver, the gardener, the cook, the financier, the accountant, or the Lama is a teacher. So how do we attract other people? Do you impress other people that your Lama can do accounts very well? Do you attract other people that your Lama is a great speaker so he can raise funds? Do you attract other people because the Lama dresses nicely? Do you attract other people because you want to know your Lama can drive a nice car or drive fast? What are you trying to attract those people toward? Dharma. So the Lama must teach the Dharma. So in order for the Lama to focus on the Dharma, you must make everything else easy so the Lama can give Dharma to the people and people will be attracted by the Dharma, and everything else they will definitely support. All of you support everything else. All of you donate and help and give time toward everything else to support the Dharma to happen. That's why we have this place. For example, this place was very much helped by Shirley, who threw a lot of things together and donated a lot of things, called a lot of people, give this and give that and give plates, everything to this place. She did a lot. So she's here to get the Dharma. Why did she do that? Because she heard some Dharma that she liked. She thought if she sponsors this place and helps this place, then other people get Dharma, she can get Dharma. Same thing for everybody else. What do you want your people to know about your Lama? What do you want the outside world to know about your Lama? That he's a good Dharma teacher or he's a good accountant? He's a good cook. He's a good designer. He can set up altars great. Big deal. BFD. What do you want other people to know about your Lama? That's how you promote. How will you attract other people to fulfill Dharma work? By your Lama giving Dharma. Doesn't it all connect? I think it's all very logical. How do you want to promote and market your Lama? I hate to use those words, but we're going to have to use it in this time and age. How do we want to promote and market your Lama? And that will be the result you get. So if your Lama's house is untaken care of, surrounded by irresponsible people who are not responsible, who forget, who have to be pushed and always reminded, and given assignments they don't finish, it takes them months and months and months and months, they never finish because they have everything going on but their responsibility. Yet they say, oh, I want to serve Lama. They say it, but they don't do it. And then you have committee members. 2 people show up for the meeting. They shake hands, have a coffee, and go home. Oh, I'm sick, la. I'm not well, na. Oh, my daughter dropped her rattle. My son lost his shoe. I can't make it. I burned my mouth on the hot tea today. Oh, traffic was very bad. My helicopter broke down, etc., etc., etc. And the committee members would get together and sit there, and everything is hunky-dory till the actual work happens, when they actually have to commit themselves. What does that all say? What's the image we're projecting? And then we say we want spiritual. What do you think spiritual practice is? If you guys are not interested in the center, you're not interested in any of this to maintain, no problem. We will find a nice park somewhere and we just set up a tent each time, get a license and hang out there and give Dharma talks. Don't complain about the mosquito and heat or whatever. You want nice things, you have to work for it. Simple. You want a nice center, you have to work for it. You want people to come to your center? You have to be organized. The committee has to be organized, not just sit there and talk. Some committees say, I will do, I will do, I will do. Next week, they forgot. Some committee members sit there and don't promise anything, don't do anything. Sit there and laugh, get their free food and their snacks. See you later. Thanks for din din. Are you coming to the center for a free meal? What is it, a soup kitchen? Think. How can you come for meetings every single week and not commit or do anything, not even something small, and say you're busy? Everybody else is busy too. Then if you don't do and the Lama picks you, you say, well, I don't know because the Lama picked me, then you put yourself down. You put your own potential down. Then what the Lama saw in you, or what the divination saw in you, you don't even want to see, you don't even want to try. So where does that bring you? You want a Dharma center? This is what's behind it for every Dharma center in the world. Every single Dharma center. Everywhere. We should always be ready. From the side of the student, we should always be ready to see what the Lama needs for teachings or whatever. Why? To be a slave? No. Do you know, when you make yourself alert and ready, you will apply that alertness to every aspect of your life, and every aspect of your life will improve. If you choose to create alertness through Guru devotion, or serving the Lama, or helping the Lama, or even you don't feel it's your Lama, it's just a friend, but you admire what your friend is doing, if you choose to create awareness to that, you can. You can create awareness any way you want. But if you're in this situation, why don't you take advantage of it? If you're always one step ahead of the Lama, one step ahead, you can apply that alertness and awareness to every aspect of your life, and every other aspect will improve. If not, why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you torturing your Lama? Why do you put dungeon keepers with your Lama? Why? Don't you understand the Lama has enough obstacles and problems in his life, and you have enough in your life not to see more of this? You have to think carefully. This is for every Dharma teacher in the world. Every center in the world. And as the Dharma center grows, what I say is even more apt and important. Because why? If the Lama is having this much difficulty maintaining this small amount of students, you want more, don't you? You want more people to join, don't you? You want to expand, don't you? So if we can't handle Lama at this stage, how are we going to handle it if it's double or triple or quadruple? Why advertise? Why put in the newspaper? Why tell about the Lama? Why write up? Why send him for interviews? Why? Why make him grow when you don't have the foundation to grow? The foundation isn't just the building being bigger, it's your attitude. It's your responsibility in how you want to promote your Lama. Very important. Very, very important. So commit. Commit. There's no other way. There's no shortcuts. Commit. One should understand the protocol. Committee members should sit down and write this down. If you can't remember everything, certainly 5 or 6 people can remember everything. Some people forget this, forget this, forget this. People put it together, they will remember. Write it down. Put a little protocol booklet. Put a little instruction booklet for the center, which I've requested last year. It hasn't manifested yet. Things we should do, what are very basic information for every Dharma center, that we can even mark it out. What's a kata? What's an altar? How do we greet the Lama? Why do we prostrate? How do we ask for refuge? What is refuge? What is the purpose of a Dharma center? How should we dress? All these little information we should gather in a nice little book so that new committee member, new members come, they have something to read. Put it on the website, for God's sake, so click, 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 they can take a look. Educate the people. The secret behind success is educating and letting people know what should be done, what is needed. That is the secret. Educating people. So committee can do that. I never said any of the committee has to raise $500,000. I said try and raise whatever you can. The money will come. Try. I didn't say you have to. If you don't, you're a failure. But I am telling you directly now as committee and people who've been hired, who's been selected. People who've been selected and people who are not selected to care. So these are things that you can do right now. Little booklets, write up things, and even things that I didn't think of. How to keep Dharma books. Why do we keep a place clean? What is a Lama? We can write all these things, and we can have little booklets. That's very useful things that committee people can do. Very useful. And then once you accomplish one thing, another thing, and you see other people reading and say, oh, wow, that helps me a lot, then the committee feel good, and they feel happy, and they feel they've accomplished something. And so from that little thing they've accomplished, they go to the next one and the next one and the next one, and they accomplish more and more and more. And that's how you can start raising $500,000 or $1 million. It starts somewhere small. That's how we start. All of us can do that. All of us can get together for that. Committees should do that. Make sure the center runs well. The volunteers come. How do you do that? Informing people and setting a good example. Having information available. Why do you think I have bulletin boards? Why do you think I have emails? Why do you think I send SMSs, spend thousands of SMSs every month to have it sent out to everybody? Millie carries 2 phones. Why? Why do I make sure people's emails are there so that they can get information, so that all of us can grow? Now we can do something to help me, can't we? Can't we? All committee can sit down and get a little book together. All committee can come down and talk about the little procedures. All committee can start a buddy system. All committee can talk to new people. All committee can start a system that this person comes, it goes to this person comes, this comes, this person comes, this person. All committee members at this time can have a buddy system where they get together with new people, a group of 2, 3, 4 people, not 2 people, because 2 people will look improper in this part of the world. 3, 4, 5 together. Go for a movie together, talk about Dharma, have a Coke together, talk about Dharma. Or have little activities. And then the extension part, as I told you, make the extension of our new extension area a section where new people can meet. Not just chapel, 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 tiles, chapel, statue, chapel, 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 chapel. What are you going to do in the chapel? Sit there and look at yourself? Put mirrors on the ceiling? Oh, money, pe me hong. What? Chapels are fabulous and we want them, we need them, but they should be more occupied by people. People. I'm not criticizing everybody. I'm giving you ideas. I want to work with you. I want you to work with me. I want us to be committed to the Dharma, and I want us to be committed to each other. I'm giving you ideas. I'm not criticizing or saying you're stupid. I'm learning too. I've never been a Dharma leader my whole life. Suddenly I'm thrown in this position. Hello, I'm coronated now as your Rinpoche. I've been thrown in this position. You know my intention was to go to... Are we finished with that pen? Thanks. And don't smile like that. You look like your face is crooked. Don't laugh at him. He'll get you back. He's rich. JP's like, so am I. Oops. What's my point? My point is this. We can do a lot of things that doesn't require money. We can do a lot of things to get ourselves organized. We are smart, we are capable, and here you are. Rinpoche is throwing a lot of ideas to you. So let's see if we manifest those ideas, then we can go to the next step and next step and next step. So the next KHCC and VPC meeting, we can enact that. And if these committees do these little things that give information, become organized, that is free, I tell you, more and more people will join. More people will come and say, I want to join, I want to help, I want to help, I want to help. That's how they do it. And then whatever you meet in the meetings and whatever you agree to, very important. Whatever you say in the meeting, you must do, or else the meeting's impact and power is gone. If one person in the meeting promises and doesn't, and you have to chase them, it brings the whole mood down. It uninspires people, especially when they're new. It uninspires them tremendously. You're not dealing with old-timers who've been in the Dharma for 20 years and whatever, and they're living bodhisattvas. You're dealing with another new chicken newbie. Newbies are chickens. Even JT's a chicken. Okay, a duck. Newbies are chickens. So if Robert comes to the meeting and he sits in and he wants to join, he hears you, oh, I forgot to do this. I don't know how to do this. Well, we can't raise all this money, and poor me, and I'm busy. I'm going to go home and count my money. He's not going to hang around. I'm going to go home and listen to Liho's complaints for once. That's more interesting. Usually Liho complaint or this, okay, Liho complaint this time. Why does he need to go to the meeting and listen to 10 naggy wives? He's got one great naggy wife at home. And he's getting tired of that coffee, tea, and me thing. Doesn't Robert have this, don't explain anything to me look? Whatever you tell him, whatever you tell Robert, whatever you say, he's like, He doesn't even look at you. He's like, hey, you're ugly. Hey, I want to buy a new statue. I want to buy 2 more tankas. I want to make my altar larger. I want to buy 21 statues. What's the bargain? Don't explain things to me. Leo's in the corner going, you're jeopardizing this. I'm very near in convincing him getting a big altar. You're jeopardizing this, Rinpoche. She's hiding behind Big Robert. Look. She's hiding behind, she's like, and she's like, that's not really like that, is it? But then Rinpoche says, so am I like that? Let me go home and ask him. And Robert's like, I'm a marriage counselor, can't you tell? They don't have anything wrong with their marriage, but I'm counseling them anyway because I'm just assuming. Presumptuous. Now, that's what we should do in the committee. These are things we all can do. And then now we have other people starting to go give food, and they're very energetic and happy. Let people know you're doing that. Take the pictures. Why do you wait for them to say, bring a camera, take a picture? How will you let everybody in the organization know what a great job we're doing? Mong mong. Send psychic message out. Mong, mong, mong. Heck, people like Chad don't even get messages when you talk to him. Never mind psychic messages. Think. Mong, mong, mong. No. Bring a camera. Take a picture. Send it to the KMP Sing Piao department and write up a little blurb. A little blurb that says we did this much, we like that. Like, rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. I'll cut out one rejoice. And then we put it on the website. Let everybody know why. You're not showing off. You're doing a great job and you deserve to be recognized. You're doing a great job. Prior to this, you wouldn't run around downtown and giving food to people. You wouldn't shake their hand. You wouldn't talk to them. You ignore them. But we're doing other great jobs. And when we let everybody know everything that we're doing, someone will come along and fit into this group, and this group, and this group, and it grows and grows and grows. And once they come and give food to the poor with you, to the homeless people, once they're on the committee, once they're involved with setting up the center, once they're involved with the extension part, once they're involved in listening to teachings, once they're involved in the outlets, somehow they get involved in one of our social programs, and by that way they see how nice we are, and then they come to one Dharma talk, another Dharma talk, and 3 Dharma talk, and they're hooked, and they're locked in, and they're stuck just like you. There you go. How do you guys know you've been hooked in? JP's pretty much given up all hope of going home before 12. He's surrendered. He's not attached. And when he gets home, whoever wants to say anything, he just says, he does a Robert thing. Why? Because he knows the value of Dharma now. Not fully, but it's getting there. Why not fully? Because I haven't taught everything. I don't have the qualifications to be that inspiring. But he has intelligence to see through all that. That's right. That's right. And there are even some people in this room dying for Dharma teachings. Dying. They actually are dying for it. When it ends, they're unhappy. Yeah, they are. I'm not putting anyone down because in the past when Dharma teachings ended, I was unhappy. Why was I unhappy? Because I love my Guru and I love the Dharma. And I want to absorb as much as I can. Simple as that. And I can't get it anywhere else. And I don't get the same thing if I read a book. No. And so, to have these Dharma teachings, things have to be done. Things have to be organized. Things have to be organized. And then once you meet your Lama, you should stick to your Lama. You should be loyal in the spiritual sense to your Lama. You don't run to this Lama. A big name Lama comes around, or this Lama comes around, this promising this and promising. All Lamas can promise you the same thing, enlightenment. All Lamas can give you different practices that lead to the same thing, enlightenment. It's up to you to pick and to do. What do you think this is? Go to this Lama, go to this Lama, go to this Lama, go to this Lama, run here, run there, run here, run there, run there? No, that's not good. You know why it's not good? The Lama doesn't know if you've been to 20 other Lamas. You know. It's a spiritual supermarket, but you pick the item you want. You're not going to cook steak, lamb, chicken, and roast for dinner, are you? Of course not. So once you pick your Lama, you make sure of the lineage, you make sure of your Lama, and you commit. Because if you commit to one thing, just like a job, just like a relationship, it will grow. The Lama and you, and the Dharma and you, the relationship with your Lama will create your Dharma to grow. The relationship with your spouse will make your love and loneliness go away, supposedly. The relationship in work, when you spend time to it, one job, not flipping here or there, will make you grow in prestige and earning power. Everybody who goes for a job looks at the portfolio and sees how long you've been at your last job and the one before that. If you've been switching every month, I doubt they'll hire you. Oh, you've been at the last job 5 years. How come? They explain. Oh, they're impressed. Same thing. Oh, what Dharma center? I was at blah blah center and I was there for 2 months, but I saw something I didn't like. Bye bye. And then I was at another center and I saw blah blah. And then I was another. And then at 4 or 5 centers, you're nowhere. People who run to this center, this center, this center carry politics. Sorry to say, carry negative talk back and forth, and they do comparisons. And they're very damaging for people at the center. People who run to different centers are very damaging for any center they go to. Why? They set a bad example. They're not loyal to any center, and they're not here, they're not there. Very simple. And people who go to 2 or 3 centers, that say they were involved with another center, then they join your center, they're not happy, they go back to their center. Very, very bad example. Why? Because you're not happy at one center, you had a fight with your lama, you had a fight with someone there, because you can't deal with your anger, you can't deal with your shame, you can't deal with your ego, so you escape to another center where nobody knows what's happened. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. There are special cases where before you met your root teacher or a special teacher or a resident teacher, that you have met other teachers that have traveled in, you receive teachings, and then when they come in town, you quietly go and receive their teaching, come back. That's very good. That's all right. Once you meet your teacher, you're not allowed to meet any other teacher. Where it got like that? It's not like marrying a spouse. Once you have one husband, no other husbands. No. If you have 3, 4 other teachers, by all means go. But you don't go to the center and say, oh, guess what? Oh, guess what? My guru that I met the first time is here. And you're at Rajaswari Center, and Rajaswari is the Rinpoche. Right? Rajaswari is the Rinpoche, and you'll be getting Dharma from Rajaswari every day. You're hanging out at her center, and you're doing things with Rajaswari, and you're all committed, and you're all doing whatever. You travel to Rajaswari, to her temple in India, Rajaswari temple. And you're all with Rajaswari. All of a sudden, 3, 4 years ago, before you met Rajaswari Rinpoche, you were with Justin Rinpoche. And Justin Rinpoche flies in town, you go to the center, guess what? Justin Rinpoche's here, you tell Rajaswari's students, and this Rinpoche's like that, like that, like this, like that, like that, like this, like that. And then you put posters all over. Justin Rinpoche at Rajaswari's Rinpoche Center, and you send out flyers and you send out SMS, come, come, come. You may have a great heart and good motivation doing that. I believe. I really believe. But when Justin Rinpoche leaves, how do the students deal with Rajaswari Rinpoche? You got them confused. Why? It's not saying that Justin is better than Rajaswari or worse. It's not that point. The point is Rajaswari is giving this much love and care and time to the students. So when you hype it all up, when people are new, of course they feel excited. And then when you take them and go there and do another ceremony, another whatever, another initiation, another teaching, whatever, and they get all hyped up, you get them even confused. And when they're new in the Dharma and they run to 2, 3, 4 lamas, they get very confused. Why? Different lamas are all wonderful, but they have different techniques and different ways, which if you are not learned in the Dharma or stable in Dharma practice, it will serve to confuse you, not enhance you. I promise you. When I was very young, my gurus never let me go to other teachings anywhere. Not anymore. Never. They were outright saying, no, you don't need to go. Did you learn everything I taught you? And I was thinking, oh, ego trip. I mean, I actually thought that when I was very young. Not anymore. Not anymore. And then what happens is this, is sometimes when new students, I'm so sorry, and I'm going to talk about this because it's the truth. And I need to make people aware. Sometimes when one student is associated with one center, and they know that, and they're doing good things, and this center is attracting people, attracting students, and attracting things, and things are happening. Another center sometimes, not everybody, and definitely not the Lama, but students of that center feel jealous. They feel threatened. They feel uncomfortable. And they will center bash. They will increase the number of their centers and membership at the cost of another center's membership. And they don't care. So they'll go to places and say, their center is practicing bad things. Their center is evil. Their Lama is evil. Their Lama is unbased. Their Lama has no basis. Their Lama is fake. All kinds of nasty things they say at the expense of one center, and what they don't realize is they are creating extreme disharmony. Is that how Buddhists act? Is that how people who have taken refuge act? To disparage another center? To put down another Lama? To put down another practice and another lineage due to rumors? Due to hearsay? Due to personal like and dislike? No. That's why I am very harsh with criticizing other centers when people say so. I stop them immediately. I'm very harsh when people criticize other lamas. Very, very harsh. It's very bad. And the phenomenon of centers are doing that. And centers sometimes are economically forced to do that, or they're pressured to do that, or they want to impress their lamas, or they impress their students, or they're losing students themselves and they want to keep them. They have many, many sociological pressures to make them do that they don't want to do that. They don't want to. But they're forced to because they don't know enough Dharma or they haven't practiced enough Dharma to control themselves. But for one center to put another center down in order to get membership is heinous crimes. As I said, in such a big city anywhere in the world when we have a Dharma center, we don't need to steal and kidnap Dharma students from another Dharma center. Anybody that opens their mouth and says, your Dharma center is not good, your Dharma center is not valid, your Lama is not good, run away immediately. Don't even talk, don't even try unless you are advanced in Dharma. And you can debate. Go away immediately. Why? It will influence your mind. Am I worried you'll run away from me? No. You'll be back. You'll be back. I'm not worried. The second reason I'm not worried is whatever I say, with time, you will see the logic behind it. The third thing is, I'm not in the student count competition. Rajaswari has 3,000 students, and I have 300. Happy birthday to her. Let her take care of 3,000 screaming samsaric beings. I'm not in any competition. And I want quality. So I've had 30 students that are filthy rich that give me everything I want. You can have your 3,000 beggars. I'm not after anything. I'm not worried. Heck, if Xiaoqian wants to go to another center, I'll drive her there. Look at this freak. The minute she walks in and say, what center you're from? She'll say, I'm from KH. They'll say, go back, please. She'll be back. Look at this. Who would accept that? Then she's got to sit on the floor, pray, do meditation, do retreats, can't lie, can't cheat, can't wear provocative, revealing things, can't talk about boobly. She'll be back. We can do all those things. They can't. And then we see people. We see people who can do something other people think for the center. And the minute another center sees that, instead of rejoicing, they go and target those people. And they say, hey, come to our center. We have so-and-so. We have this and that. We're doing this and this. And they never encourage you towards your own center. They never encourage you towards your own Lama. They should ask you, oh, you've started Dharma? I rejoice. If there's any books or anything you need, let me know. What Lama are you studying? Oh, you're studying under blah, 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 Rinpoche? Oh, I rejoice. I'm so happy. Please go to your center. Please be loyal. Please follow your Lama and practice Dharma, do retreats. You'll get a lot of benefit. When you say like that, you'll respect their center, you'll respect their students, you'll respect their Lama, you'll respect their lineage. Why? That's what they're supposed to say. Oh, your Lama is so-and-so. Oh, well, I've heard things about your Lama. And then you just took refuge. What? What did you hear? What? You just took refuge with your Lama. You took initiation. You promised your Lama your body, speech, and mind. And then your friend from Boo Boo Center says, I've heard things about your Lama. And then, and then they join your center. And they join your center through fear, through lies, through coercion, through manipulation, and through your negative motivation to defame their practice, their Lama, their lineage, at the cost of their spiritual development. At the cost of their spiritual development. When you make people lose faith in their Lama that they have taken refuge or they believe in, when you make them lose faith, it is equivalent to sending them and yourself to hell. Isn't Guru devotion the top of the list? Isn't Guru devotion the top of the list? There are even gurus out there that I personally would not take teachings from. that I have issues about their practices and what they're doing. But when their students come to me, I will never say one word about their guru to them. Never. Why? The minute you make another person lose faith in their guru, you are not practicing Dharma. In the Kala Chakra short treatise, it says, if we observe with our normal capacities, there are things about our Lama that is very difficult to deal with or difficult to handle. We will not fight or disparage. We will keep a respectful distance, meaning we don't discourage others. We don't put them down. We don't try to say negative things. We don't try to justify. We just stay a respectful, quiet distance without influencing anybody. And even if we've received the highest Kala Chakra, the highest Anuttara Yoga Tantra initiation from them, that is still permissible due to the level of our mind. But we don't stay away and then quietly tell people why and try to influence them and try to justify why we're staying away and try to make reasons why we're staying away so that we don't look bad and we don't look down. That's not what we should do. Everything we do must have valid scriptural basis, not make up from our little ignorant minds. If we're going to make things up, we don't need a Buddha. We put a statue of ourselves and write things up and take refuge in ourselves. So the minute another person tells you, your Lama is bad, your Lama is wrong, your lineage is bad, your practice is wrong, your deities are bad, your particular style is bad, run away. For everybody in this world, run away. There are Lamas that we like what they do. There are Lamas we don't like what they do. Who are we to judge? Someone has made them a Rinpoche. Someone has recognized them. Someone of authority, someone of power, someone of eminence, someone of spiritual background has recognized this person as a Dharma teacher. Someone has. So when you put that Rinpoche down and you say that Rinpoche is doing bad practice, how can that Rinpoche do bad practice and still be a Rinpoche? How can? So if that person's a so-called Rinpoche or so-called teacher, they're doing bad practice, you don't like it, that is your view. You don't jump on the bandwagon. This group says cannot do this group says cannot do this, and then you're stuck. The minute you take sides one group, no matter how holier than thou you think you are, you have become political. Therefore, it's not Dharma. So what is the method? Tam Yam. Tam Yam in Tibet means not this side and not this side. If your Lama does practices, or not do practices, you check and meditate on the good qualities of your Lama to override the bad qualities that you think or perceive. That's the Kadam way of Guru devotion. To look at the good qualities your Lama has. Because objectively, many Dharma teachers are not Buddhas. Many are not, objectively. But for us to run around and nitpick at the bad qualities of our teacher all the time will not encourage our practice, not encourage our faith, and not encourage our spiritual quest. Unless your Lama is running around murdering people. So what happens is, one should never, ever criticize another center, another Lama, another lineage. One should never, ever criticize another tradition. Ever. The minute another so-called, inverted commas, Dharma student tells you that lineage is bad, that Lama is bad, you went to the wrong place. You're doing the wrong practice. They are very dangerous people. Why are they very dangerous? Let's say hypothetically that your Lama is bad. But for a person to tell straight out your Lama is bad, you destroy their spiritual evolution. You should be very, very skillful with them and say, no, don't think like that about your Lama. How has your Lama helped you? What have they done for you? And think about the good things and keep that person in the back burner that they have benefited you somehow, and don't think negative things. Because when you think negative things, the next Lama you go to, you've trained your mind to think negative things. And then the next one. It doesn't end. It does not end. We should never, ever do that. And there are sometimes I've seen in the West, I've seen in the East centers who criticize other centers, criticize their ceremonies or their rituals or their tradition, and they even dare criticize their Lama. When they criticize their Lama, they're criticizing the people that recognize their Lama. They criticize. Some people were recognized by His Holiness. When you criticize them, you criticize the Dalai Lama. So then you say, well, they're against the Dalai Lama for whatever reasons. How can Dalai Lama recognize someone that would be against him? That means he's stupid. He's not stupid. Illogical. Then can the abbots of the monasteries be wrong? Can the oracles all be wrong? Can those people who have been practicing recognize these people always be wrong? If they're always wrong, then everything is wrong. The Dharma is wrong. Everything is wrong. There's no end to what's wrong. Te meba. Cancer Rinpoche used to say, te meba. We cannot. If other students from other centers have some problem in their center, we should encourage them back gently to make peace and harmony back to their center. We should advise them and help them. And they can use our center as something like a spiritual hospital to heal. And request them and go back to their center. Not happily say, welcome. You've come to the right place because you've been in the wrong place. Because that's basically what you're telling them when you welcome them. And if they have something going on in their center that's really irreparable, that's not helping their spiritual progress, then you let them rest in your center and observe and see and watch and teach in such a way that never hurts them and their spiritual practice and their background and their lama and their lineage. Never hurt them. Never bring people to your center by hurting their past. Never. We can't do that. If you make them mistrust their lineage, they will never gain attainments from the new lineage you give them. Never. Never. The karma that comes from disparaging one's lama and one's teacher cannot be replaced by another. Do not think that just because their lama is an ordinary monk or ordinary nun, and then later you meet them, you introduce them to a top-notch high incarnation, that this high incarnation can erase their negative thoughts about what happened before. He cannot. If high incarnations and high-ranking lamas can erase all this, they can erase our negative karma, they can make us a Buddha overnight. Obviously, they cannot. They cannot. Trijana Rinpoche and Saram Rinpoche cannot erase my negative karma. So why would introducing them to a high-ranking lama or a famous lama or a popular lama compared to their unknown lama be better? How can? So to put their lineage down and to put what they're doing down, it reflects the person speaking, and sometimes, without wanting to, it reflects their lama. And do we want to reflect our lama that way? We run around putting other people down, their lineage, their practice, and what they're doing? Do we want to reflect our lama that way? Definitely not. Fanatical Buddhism is very bad. When you put everybody down, and at the expense of another center, you increase your center. Get your own members. You stand on the street and talk to everybody and pass out, you want to be saved flyers. You get your own members. Why do you not want to put effort into nurturing new students? Why is it another center nurtures them and takes care of them and teaches them this, and you just snatch them away by saying something evil about whatever? And if these people can be snatched away so easy, anyway, happy riding, happy goodbye. Why? Why don't you want to get your own students and nurture them up and take care of them yourself? There's no shortcut, because once you ruin their spiritual practice, that's it. That's happened before. It's happened a few times before. Where I've had students who come and see me, received a lot of Dharma, then another lama's in town, they go there. The lama is fabulous. The lama doesn't say anything. Once the lama's gone, they hook them in. The center people talk and say negative things and say blah, blah, Rinpoche like that, like this, like that, like that, like that. Scare them, even to the point where they dare not come and see me. If you see him, it's bad karma, And then they stick them there. Even the way I've taught them to do mandala offerings, they will reteach them another way. The way you learn is wrong. I've heard that. They've come back and told me. And I'm like, huh? If I want to be nasty, children, if I want to tell you the real inside story, I can tell you. I'm a Tibetan. I know what's going on. I know about all the controversial issues. I know about all the controversies and what's going on. I can talk to you until the chickens come home. And I can talk to you in such a way you will never fall asleep, because you all love politics. You all love scandals. In Italian, scandaloo. You all love it. You want to hear it. Like, let's forget the Dharma. Tell us some Dharma trash. And I purposely don't talk about it. I purposely don't go there. Do you know why? I'm not afraid. And I ain't doing anything wrong. But I don't choose to go that direction because I'm here to give you Dharma. You like my Dharma? Stick around. You want politics? I don't have it here. I don't have it here. I'm not interested. I don't want to put any lamas down because I'm not in that position. If I put this lama down, that lama down, I can't. The lamas here, many of the people here, many of the lamas come here, I know where they come from. I know their background. I know who even recognize their incarnation. Some of them you're going to be like, really? I know. Some of the centers in the city, I helped start them. I helped to start them. I donated things and I gave them things. Once they grow big and stuff, they don't know me. Who's Tsem Rinpoche? I don't know. Who? Who Pimp Rinpoche? We never heard of him. One syllable what? Nothing. And they can even say, oh, Tsem Rinpoche's doing bad, evil practices. Well, if I am, I am. Then Sawam Rinpoche's evil. The Dalai Lama's evil. Lati Rinpoche's evil. Tragorn Rinpoche's evil. Khensa Rinpoche's evil. Geshe Tsoden Gyaltsen's evil. Because where did I learn these from? The Akashic records? Mung. Where do you think I learned these things from? So when they put me down, they put my lineage gurus down. And little do they know that their gurus belong to the same lineage as I do. So when they put me down, they put my gurus down. And their gurus and their gurus. It goes all the way back to Buddha. What am I teaching? What am I sharing? What am I giving to people? I told you, I don't have any access to the Akashic records. Gnomes and elves don't teach me anything. I don't see any dakinis. The statues don't open one word to me. They don't even burp. And can I acquire this much knowledge from Dharma books? Well, maybe. But no, it's not from there. What do you think? So when they put Tsem Rinpoche down, just like when they put any other Rinpoche or Lama or Geshe down, when they put them down, they're putting down their gurus and their teachers. That's right. And then you say you're doing spiritual practice. Let's make it simple. Let's not think about all these complicated scenarios. Let's make it simple. The minute you tell someone their guru is bad, their lineage is bad, and you listen to rumors, A, you're a flippant, very light-eared, silly person who is not able to use logic or don't have it. A. B, those people who said that to you are not nice people. They're not spiritual aspirants. Spiritual aspirants don't talk like that. They don't talk like that. Not at all. So, center bashing is a phenomenon that's arising along with centers because centers are in competition to get members. Why do they need members? They need to pay their bills. They need to prove their lineage is good. And some people in the member have a very small identity crisis or they have inferiority complex. And so if less people practice and there's a bigger group, they feel that maybe they're on the wrong path because they don't have this confidence in themselves. So they need to make the group bigger. They need to advertise. They need to talk more to prove that they're on the right path. Because number means authenticity to them, not to me. Not to me. Never. All centers should never criticize another center. Even if the center is, we find totally not good. Never. Societies and organizations and all this should not be set up to judge lamas and centers and students and practices. No one has that authority. No one. Certainly no one in this city has the authority to do that. No one. Even within the tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, one head of a religious school has no authority over another. Ganden Tridimchi has no say over the other three schools of Buddhism. The other three schools of Buddhism have no say over each other. So how can, in this country, they can have an organization that has say over all the lineages? Even the highest lamas of each lineage do not have that authority to say. How can lay people here have that authority to say? Who've not studied and practiced. How dare they? And to put one center down, and put one lineage down, put one lama down, ostracize this person, ostracize that person, very bad. Lay people in any country who have not studied have no authority to say anything over the Sangha or practices or lineages that have been existing for hundreds and thousands of years in some cases. No authority. How dare? How dare? Even in a Tibetan Buddhist society, let me tell you again, in Tibetan schools, the head of one sect, His Holiness Sakya Chinzen, is a very highly realized Lama, has no say over the other schools of Buddhism. No say. His Holiness Karmapa is head of his school, not the Drukpa Jews, not the Shangbaka Jews, not the Zurmang Jews. He has only say over his Kama Kachu, not even the Drigun Kachus. They all had their leaders. Certainly, Karmapa has no say over the other schools of Buddhism, Sakya, Nyingma, Kagyu, Gelug. None. So if even these great enlightened beings have no say over the other schools, how can anybody anywhere else, anywhere in the world, form any committees that have any say over any lineage or any practice? Illogical. Some more, they're not even learned monks. They're not even learned Sangha. Yet they want to pretend they control and protect. But it's a guise to cover, to be politically correct, to get members. Any Dharma center who stoop to such low ends to criticize another person's Lama and lineage and practice in order to get members, I am so sorry. They will not gain any attainments from their practice. None. Unless there's something contradictory to the Buddha that works. So if we come across people that says things about our Lama, and I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking in general, you cut them off immediately and say very nicely, please don't criticize my Lama. Please don't criticize my lineage. I choose and do what I want, and you choose and do what you want. We all get to enlightenment together. I will pray for you. Very straight and very simple. Yeah, really? Really? Tell me, let's have coffee. Let's have another coffee. Let's have a scone too. What? Really? Oh, really? Then next time we see Tsem Rinpoche, we see Blue Rinpoche, or we see Rajaswara Rinpoche. 1 week ago, we're in tears. Oh, Rinpoche, you're so fabulous. You're Buddha. You're Bodhisattva. And this week. That shows you your mind. That shows you what level you're at. And then some people go to other centers. They go in and mingle. Hi, how are you? Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya. Come to my center. We have people who do that. They come to centers. We have people who came to our centers trying to hook people to their center. Why? Because their center has 2 members. By coming to our center and hooking them over to their center. Can you believe that? Ming, me, te, wei, te, chin, chen, and si, come to my center, jalan, blah, blah, blah. Section 20, blah, blah, blah. Hong Pei. You're like, huh? And they pass out cards, you know. They come to your center to get people for their center. And once they destroy your faith and destroy your confidence and destroy your loyalty, what kind of person do you turn out to be? So these kind of people who are so light-year, do you even want them in your center? That's why I say if they hear things and they have so much doubt and whatever, and I talk to them, they still don't believe, I say go. Why do I say go? If they're like that now, they're going to be like that all the time. They're just a disruption to themselves and people around them. No problem. No problem. So when they start talking like that, bye-bye. I don't care if they're rich. I don't care if they're poor. I don't care if we depend on them, whatever. We have to have some principles. I'm not saying be bitchy and mean. I'm saying be straightforward. We have to have some principles. Some things we have to stand up for, which is our spiritual enlightenment. I've had people come and tell me, Geshe-la is like that, like that, like that. I say, oh, really? I hope he does more. Geshe-la likes women, you know. He likes the nun. Oh, really? Which one? Do you think she's cute? They go, oh, I can care less. I can care less because I know what I got. You see, I'm not a Rinpoche police to record and write down what Rinpoche's can and cannot do because I'm not highly attained. So I choose to keep quiet. I choose to keep quiet. I don't care what top ranking or high Rinpoche says this and this and this about this teacher. I can care less. Why? I have eyes, double eyelid, and I have ears, and I have a brain, and it works. And so I look, I listen, and I think. And if I like it, I say thank you. If I don't like it, I say thank you. And if they continue, I tell them, see that place that sells kites? Buy one. Anybody who will resort to that level to go and say negative things, to bring you to their center, they destroy you, they make you look stupid, they destroy themselves, and they're a bad representation of the Buddha Dharma and their guru and their lineage. Who runs around? We're supposed to be nice to spirits. We're supposed to generate compassion to hungry ghosts. If we generate compassion to hungry ghosts, but we're mean to people, isn't there some contradiction here? Cannot. Stop criticism. Don't increase it. Don't listen to it. Stop it. If you're in a position where you can convince them and not they convince you, talk. If you know you cannot, don't listen. Why? Are you that learned? And do you want to stoop to their level? Do you want to encourage them? Do you want them to encourage them to do what they're doing? Making membership in your centers at the cost of other centers is the biggest problem that's suffered among centers in the known world now. It is very dangerous and it's very detrimental. It's self-destructive. And let me make one logical point. Whatever city or town that the center is situated in, the more centers, the better, because there are plenty of people to go around. Plenty. So what do you want? This week they're Nyingma, next week they're Kachu, next week they're Giluk, next week they're Rime, and then they go back here, go there, whatever guru show up, they're there, take all kinds of initiatives and empowerments and alternate lineage. So this time this guru tells them visualize Tara here, and then they go to that center, visualize Tara here, go center, visualize Tara here, and then by the time you're finished, you're going to be checking into the mental institution. I see Tara. Here, take your injection la. I mean, that's what it is, right? Some traditions say Tara's like that, some traditions like that, some people's like that, some people like that, some people like this. What? Tara's Tara la. Oh, that meditation's wrong. Let me teach you the right way from His Holiness, who's got 55,000 reincarnations. Your guru only has 2. What? What? And then if you're stupid, you go, oh, really? So that one must be very qualified. See you later, 2 Rinpoche guru, 2 incarnation guru. Mwah. And by the way, can I have my Ang Pao back? Where? Oh, come on, think. So are you after name or spiritual practice? Are you after rank or spiritual practice? I'm not telling you this because I'm a low class, nobody, gutter Rinpoche that no one respects. I'm not trying to win this over because I have no rank. I'm not interested in that. If I want to get rank, I can. I'm from the Tibetan tradition. I know what to do. Trust me, I know what to do. And I belong to a very big institution. And I know all the top lamas. You saw when you went with me. And they lack me. So if I want to get a big rank, I can. But I ask myself, why? Why? If I have a reason that benefits people, maybe I will apply for a big rank. If I don't have a reason, isn't another ego-building activity? And I'm trying to teach you no ego. Here I am becoming a big fat ego. How can big fat ego teach another big fat ego no ego? Doesn't make sense, does it? I can get rank. I've already got rank. I'm a Rinpoche. I sit on the throne, you sit on the floor. And when I go to Ganden, I sit on a big fat throne. The other ones sit on the floor. You all saw. If you didn't see, buy the video, 30 ringgits at any of the 4 outlets. Journey to Ganden. If you leave here without buying a video, it means you're a cheapskate. You know you're going to get enlightened. And if you can't afford $30, you are a failure. Now buy it. And no part payment scheme. What, $1 a month? What is all that? Big Lama rank, big Rinpoche rank, then there's somebody, then no, that doesn't bother me. Does the person's teaching touch me? Does it affect me? Does it help me? Encourage people toward their lamas. Even if their lamas are far away, they don't get to see them often, and they come to your center because they have nowhere else to go. Always respect their lineage, their practice, their lamas. Always make sure their faith in lamas is firm, and then when you teach in the Dharma, it will add to what they already have. It will add. It will add to them. Then you truly want them to become enlightened. For them to become enlightened, they must have clean, pure samaya with their lama. They must. So if you help them towards their lama, if you want respect, they'll respect you. But if you want their spiritual attainments, they will get spiritual attainments because you help them toward that. Isn't that your job as a spiritual teacher? To encourage them toward guru devotion toward their lama? For any reason, if they can't be with their lama or study or learn from their lama or something like that, they have their reasons. You don't need to dig and ask and say, aren't you glad you're with us now? Oh. No. Because that is damaging their faith. And we can't do that. We cannot do that. Never. That is not spiritual practice. Encourage people to whatever they have done, encourage their practice, and don't take their practice away. Whatever practice they have received, encourage them and help them and teach them if you know. Help them. Why? Our purpose is to bring people to enlightenment. Once they're enlightened, doesn't matter what color hat they wear, yellow hat, black hat, red hat. Once they're enlightened, the Shakyamuni doesn't even wear a hat. You think Tsongkhapa goes to sleep with his yellow hat? He takes it off, man. That's right. We have to think about that. Do not center bash at the sake of other centers. Do not encourage other people to leave or come to your center. Never. That is totally contradictory to Dharma. And I have many bases to explain that. Many bases. And if you do that, if you encourage people to your center full of people with broken samayas from their center, from their lama, do you think your center will grow? Do you think your center will be without controversy? Do you think your center, who is filled with broken samaya people, will be able to advance? Do you think so? If you think advancing is getting a bigger building and a lot of money, businessmen can do that. Swindlers can do that. Liars can do that. Why do we need Dharma to do that? Just because the center is growing and has a lot of money doesn't validate their practice either. That's why I don't put my full energy into just that. No. 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 Swindlers and liars and cheaters can make their empire grow. There's nothing impressive. Nothing. So maybe materially their center is growing because they're good at lying to people or they're good at talking or whatever. They have good schemes, they have a good publicist, they're a good promoter. But it doesn't mean their practice is valid. If you break other people's samaya and you fill your center up with broken samaya people, your center cannot grow. How can broken samaya grow? How can? Cannot. I'm telling you straight. I am a spiritual advisor of a teacher, and I'm telling you that straight word. I'm telling everybody that who's here and who will be listening to this in the future. Never increase the members of your center at the cost of another center. Ever. It is bad karma, it's unethical, it's un-Buddhist, and you represent your Lama badly, and there are karmic repercussions. And you fill your center with broken samaya people. They will never advance. They will never advance. They will be filled with confusion again and again and again. No matter how much they fake, they're not confused. Cannot. And if another Dharma center is starting out, if it's not offensive, whatever, you should rejoice. In order to get over one's bias, in order to get over one's prejudice and one's wrong views, one should give donations to other centers. Small or big, one should. One center should give donation to another center. If you give donation to another center, you should give it via your own center. Why? Unity. Unity. I do that when other centers are doing things, when other centers have events. I always send quietly support to them. Always. I've done that many times. Let other Dharma centers grow. Whether they remember you, whether they care about you, whether they think you've helped them or not, it doesn't matter. What's your purpose? Recognition or Dharma to grow? Doesn't matter. Help them. We want peace in a center. We come for peace in a center. So why would we create disharmony in people's minds who come to the center to look for peace by bashing other lineages and practices? Cannot. Cannot. And when other people come from other centers to look and explore, again, let me repeat, encourage them toward their center. Share what you do. Share what you do, but encourage them toward their center. Don't chase them away. Be very honest and direct. And don't repeat yourself to look so holier than thou. No. And to create that stability and the confidence and to create that type of understanding and firm basis, our own center should educate our own people. And that is where the committees play a very important role. That our people educate our people so that in case they bump into some fanatic or born again Buddhist, or some people who are just not sure or they like to create gossip and talk, I'm sorry that happens. It does happen. Then we know how to answer or not answer because we are firm. So our members being lost or other people's being lost is a responsibility of the committee, not the Lama. What do you think? The Lama opens a 1-800 hotline. Let me find out if you're a real Lama, 24-hour hotline. Dear Rinpoche, I heard you're not a Rinpoche. Are you? 1-800 Tsem. Come on. Whether your members stay and your members are firm or not depends on you. Depends on the committee. Depends on the senior students. Depends on how you give information. So if senior students find it difficult to talk to every single person, get it down in a book. Get it down in a manual. Get it down on the VCD. Have newbie intro classes. How do you like that? NIC. Newbie intro classes. Show them the Ganden DVD. Show them how high Tsem Rinpoche's throne is. Hint, hint. Show them where Ganden is. Show them what we practice. Introduce them to our beautiful temple and our beautiful center and see what we're doing. Show them our departments. Show them our stores. Intro for newbies. Don't name it that, please. You get my meaning. New student introduction classes. Why don't we do that? There's a lot of new people. In this room, 1/3 are new people who've never been to Ganden, who doesn't know what's going on. They just sit here and look at me with big eyes. Why don't we have newbie classes? Why doesn't any of the liaisons or committees think of that? Aren't you confident in introducing what you already know? Then some of the newbies who don't know, find out. Find out and learn. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that a reason to get together every week? Newbie intro classes. Pizza and enlightenment. Great. We should do that. So when we educate our people, they're confident. If you let people know how great Malaysia is, and you make them confident about their country and their rich background and their diversity and how beautiful everything is here, when they go to other countries, they will respect other countries and also say, no, my country is beautiful too, thank you. We need to educate our people. It all comes from education. How? The committees can do that. All committees. You say, what does that have to do with Vajrayogini? What does that have to do with expansion? Hello, expansion, newbies, expand, mind, expand, inside, expand, outside, expand, grow. Hello? Do you see the connection? Yeah, 3 + 3, 6, not 5. See? Then what does that have to do with Vajrayogini? How do you get them to Vajrayogini's heaven? You put them in a bag, sew them up, and throw them up there? They got to start with refuge, dearie. They got to start with the 4 Noble Truths. They got to start with cause and effect. They got to start with Guru devotion. They got to start with Ganden Hajama, Lama Tsongkhapa Mingsema. They got to start with keeping their vows. They need to do preliminary practices. How do you start? By letting them know. So when you let newbies know and introduce them to the Dharma, you are directly connecting to Vajrayogini. Directly. What do you think Vajrayogini is? Bring them to the store, make them buy a statue, bring it home, and then they make offerings to this lady? Pray. And then when they come to the center, go to the chapel, there's that lady there. What? You think that's giving them an affinity? They'll go there and offer some lotus candles to some weird red chick? Come on. And she's not even wearing a bra. This is Malaysia, dear, not America, where women can run around like that. Well, except for one. But I won't tell you who wishes she can. Not all Malaysian girls are like that. Can you imagine Xiao Chen? Can you do a Vajrayogini Halloween costume? She doesn't even have a comment. 2 times she keeps quiet when you tell her to do that, and 2, donate money. She's very quiet. Can I cash the check yet? Thank you. When? So, Jesus, the first time I get an offering and I can't use it. A new tradition, offer everything up, write a check for 1 million and tell them to hold it for 20 years. What? I'll be dead. Everybody write me a check for 20 million. I'll be rich in checks. And then tell me to cash it in 20 years. Follow you-know-who's example. You ever hear that? Write a check, cash it. And here, and then read the fine print. Oh, wait a minute. Hello. Read the fine print, dear. Cash in 2027. 2026, Rinpoche goes into clear light and passes away with his check. Hello. I never seen making offerings to the Lama with fine print. She has started a new tradition, Xiao Chen Vajradhara. All this fine print, I tell you. Got like that, man? She's cute, huh? She can take all this crap. Oops. Jivan's like, I didn't do that. Don't look at me. Yeah. So, we got to think. I mean, 1-2 days, 1-2 weeks, okay lah, but indefinitely, read the fine print, indefinite lah. Oh boy, if I was evil, I'd just bank it in lah. Bounce, bounce. It's not going to be my problem. Let them chase the big business woman. So when the VPC educates the newbies and talks about the preliminaries and talks about the basics and setting up a system for the newbies, you are directly connecting them to Vajra Yogini. That will create the karma for your chapel to manifest beautifully. Why? Because you're helping other people to go into Dharma and take refuge. That collects karma. Why does it collect good karma for you to help them take refuge? Because you help them to stop doing negative things. You help them to realize cause and effect. Isn't that the first step to Vajra Yogini-hood? That is the best way to connect people. It's a direct connection, it's a beautiful connection, and it's a very nice connection. So the VPC, the committee, and the KHEC, with respect to all of you, and I'm not pinpointing anyone, no, I'm not, should form something like that for the newbies to make our center confident and strong. And it's free, it's easy, and you guys are smart, you're energetic, you meet up every week anyways. You encourage other people, get more people in, form groups, have little parties, have little get-togethers. That's fun. Dharma and fun. We should do that. And then when other people talk about what blah, 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 we're very confident. It doesn't affect. Some more the newbies feel very good. They will help other newbies and then help other newbies, and there's a system. There's something there to refer to. And we can add to this little book and make it better. That should be done. If you want to connect them to Vajrayogini, that's good. Don't just think we set up a chapel and that's it. Everybody's enlightened. No. It starts now. It starts now. So, almost finished. Then when some of our members, when any member of any center, listen very carefully. This is very irritating, huh? When any member who is a confirmed person of that center and confirmed with their Lama, do not encourage them to go to other centers. Do not encourage them to go to other Lamas. Do not encourage them. Maybe you're very high level and you can go to a few Lamas because you've been soliciting a few Lamas for Dharma and you're okay in your advance. And I admit there are people like that in the city who can do that. And they don't have conflict between different Lamas. They don't have conflict because they know how to think above it. But not all of us are at that level. So someone has committed and signed up with the center and is committed to the Lama, whether to take refuge or not. Do not encourage them to other centers. Same for other center people who are committed. If they popped into another center once and they come over, of course they're welcome. Of course you encourage them. I'm talking about committed people. Committed. I mean, isn't that ethical? Very ethical. And we should be ethical. Before being spiritual, we should be ethical. Very simple. And when some students come, attention seekers, maybe they're not getting attention, maybe they're a middle child, maybe they feel it's exciting, it's a nice fad, and they just want to show up and see the exotic Lama, the exotic people, the exotic tapestries, the exotic decoration, the exotic everything, and they come like a tourist in, tourist out. It's okay, they're welcome. Once their tour is over, they know where the door is. But there are people who come in for many reasons. Some people come in because they have problems. Some people come in because they're desperate. Some people come in because they have afflictions. Some people come in because they want something more. Some people have an inclination towards studying Dharma. There are all types of reasons people come. All types of reasons. But one thing that's very important is when people come to the center with newbies and they talk about supernatural phenomenon and supernatural things, I wouldn't recommend talking to newbies about supernatural phenomena or supernatural things. I know there's a little thing in Malaysia where we say, oh, the Lama read my mind. Oh, the Lama knew the future. Everybody runs there. But how long does that last? I don't encourage that. I don't encourage that. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe he is really psychic. We don't know, but that's not what we're here to learn. We're not here to learn to see things or psychic powers from our Lama. We're here to develop compassion. We're here to develop forgiveness. We're here to go home, the real home. So we don't need all that. Psychic phenomenon does exist, and there are people who see things. There are people who have experiences. I know real people who do that for many years now. I know. I know who does, and I know who doesn't because I have my ways to check. If I knew directly, I wouldn't have to check, but I have to check. Okay? So that does happen, but for newbies, it's not a very good idea to talk about that, to express that. It's not that you're wrong, or you're bad, or you're a liar, you're a fake. It doesn't help newbies, because what newbies need is to hear something different. To hear something that gives them relief. To hear something that gives them hope. To hear something that teaches unmaterialism, unhate, anti-hate, anti-war, anti-social. They need to hear something that's anti-disrespect toward the parents. They need to hear respect elders and parents, to follow the law that creates harmony, and to give them a new perspective towards that goal. That's what newbies need. And newbies who are attracted to that, they really are on the spiritual path, because it starts there. Newbies who are not, then obviously it's no loss for either party, is there? Because what are we here to promote? What am I here to promote? You want to get psychic powers? I think I can teach you how to attain psychic powers. I think I can. But you still have to start with bodhicitta and compassion and renunciation. To gain psychic powers from one of the higher level deities and the psychic powers to stay with you in every lifetime, you have to generate those qualities first as a prerequisite. So you still have to be nice. What Buddhist psychic monk is not nice? You think Dalai Lama, when we're not watching him, he's Jack the Dalai Lama Ripper? Runs around Dharamsala stabbing people, but in the daytime he's all right, a schizo? No lah. We're got like that monk night in the daytime, a saint. You think Mother Teresa runs around, stabbing people at night?
Strangling people, the dayside strangler Calcutta. Who is she? No, we're not. So how can during the day where me, myself, don't care, but at night when we do our meditation to get psychic powers, Om compassion, Om love, Om I see the universe in a single speck of dust because I've reached enlightenment.
Om. We're got like that. If you want psychic powers, and you want to achieve psychic powers that are not going to be at the expense of any damage to you. Because when we seek for psychic abilities and powers through the wrong venues, the wrong people, the wrong beings, you will get your psychic powers, but you will pay dearly. You will pay dearly. Because once they give you what you want, they're going to be hanging around, and they're going to want something too. Nothing's for free, dearie. Well, you're thinking in Buddhism, nothing's for free. That's right. You have to give up your ego. You have to give up your hatred. You have to give up your attachment. You have to give up your unforgiving nature. You have to give up your anger. You have to give that up to replace it with compassion, with love, with gentleness, with skillful means, with wisdom, and then you'll get psychic powers. Because if you want to meditate on Yamataka for psychic powers or Vajragini, they are supreme. For healing people, they are supreme. There are many reasons why Yamataka is very supreme. For example, Yamataka has 34 arms. Each of his arms holds one symbology or one weapon or one instrument or one tool. That tool represents what Yamataka can confer on you when you do his practice. There's one hand where he holds a pestle, the top of a purifying, we have a Tibetan vase, and the top has a peacock feather. He holds that. And that sprinkles water. That is used specifically to stop epilepsy. And I've seen highly realized Yamataka practitioners stop people's epilepsy by blowing on them. Fits. Because that represents he can confer that. Another one that Yamataka holds is a man impaled on a stick. The man has a stick impaled through his anus, through his body, and out his mouth. What is that symbolic for? People who commit any of the heinous crimes. The result will be very, very incredible suffering, as symbolized by the man impaled by the stick, because that's incredible suffering. It's not that that's what's going to happen to you, but it's symbolized by that kind of incredible suffering. And that even if you committed any of the heinous crimes, like draw blood from a Buddha, kill an Arhat, kill your mother or father, or create schism within the Sangha, those four, when you die, there is no bardo. You close your eyes, when you open, you're in one of the hell states. So no sutra can purify that karma in this life. No way. If you commit any of those are called heinous crimes, 4. But through the Yamantaka Tantra, even the most heinous crimes can be purified if you do his meditation correctly. And him holding that symbolizes heinous crimes can be purified. So each arm is holding something and it symbolizes something. Each one has something. The deity, their color, their face, their expression, their body, their movement, their mudra, their stance, and their entourage represents what their specialty is for you when you do their practice. So if you want to engage in those practices, definitely. And Lord Yamataka is no other than Manjushri, the Buddha of the mind, perfection of all mental qualities, and one of them is the 5 types of clairvoyances. So if you do Yamataka's meditation, especially his meditation related to recitation without moving, mind recitation, you're able to develop clairvoyance very fast, very good. But that is, prerequisite is refuge, guru devotion, and holding your vows, and developing bodhicitta and the realization of shunyata. What do you think? You just get Yamataka initiation during the day, you scream at your mother. At night, you're evil to your friends, you're nasty, you're stingy, you don't want to share, you're manipulative, and then you do Yamataka at night, give me power, give me power, give me power. What do you think Yamataka is? Some kind of hoodlum? Some kind of loan shark? No. So if you want to do Buddhist practices, nothing's for free, dearie. That's right. You know what you have to give up. But some things you give up, it's better you're without. That's right. No, Liho, you can keep Robert. I caught her on a Yangshan. Oh, what? What? I can keep. Oh, thank you. Whatever. Liho's the type that doesn't argue. She's a typical coffee, tea, or me. Don't argue with the customer. Are you still nice on the plane like that too? Have you ever spilled coffee on one of those nasty passengers? Never? Not even a little bit? Not even like, no? You're such a bodhisattva. YSG. So, mysterious phenomena? There is. I don't deny. Spirits, ghosts, hantus, good and bad, God. Some people claim they can see the Buddha. Maybe you can. Maybe you can, but it doesn't help a newbie. I'm not going to put you down and say you don't or you do, because I don't, so I can't 100% confirm. Maybe you do. But I have my ways to check too. But in any case, whether you do or you don't, it doesn't help a newbie. See Buddha Shakyamuni. And then they're like, okay. They're like, wow, fabulous. And then you go to a mamak stall with them, and you know, when the bill comes, what kind of Buddha Shakyamuni vision is that? You're stingy, you're greedy, you don't even want to pay, and then you see Sakyamuni. You didn't see Sakyamuni. You saw nobody Muni, your imagination Muni. People have ways to check. People know. 1 time can, 2 time can, 3 time can. And then if you get angry, or if you, well, I had lunch with Tara, and the newbie's like, oh, wow, the Tara? Yes, dearie, Tara, not Tara Reid, Tara. Really? And they're impressed. And then in meetings, you're like, I'm so exhausted. I've had so much stress. I can't handle this anymore. But I thought you saw Tara. People who have the power to see Tara don't have this kind of power to give up. Or what did you say about my friend? What? You said my friend? What'd you say? Punch. And then you just had lunch with Manjushri also. I mean, if you can see Manjushri and Tara and Shakyamuni, you can have visions of Buddhas, you must be a high-level practitioner. Unless they're demons masquerading in Halloween costumes. Hi, I'm Tara. And then behind the mask, I mean, come on. If you can see high-level deities, you must be high-level. You must be high-level. So if you're seeing deities, you have to be very careful. I'm not denying you're seeing deities. I'm saying be careful. Highly realized lamas tell you they're ordinary, simple human beings. and they don't see anything. There's a reason for them to say that. They may not. There's a reason. So, are you seeing a hantu behind a Halloween costume, dressed up as Tara? I'm Tara. And they tell you things, and it comes true, and they tell you nothing comes true, tell you nothing comes true, and after a while, you depend on them. And they're like behind their mask going, and then you walk in, oh, hi, I'm Tara. But I thought you said you're Manjushri. I'm Manjushri. Spirits are tricky. I'm not kidding. Spirits are very tricky. That's what Saramji mentioned. Be careful. Saramji specifically used that example. He says, if you have a vision of Tara, there's ways to check if it is Tara. Be careful. Lama Tsongkhapa had visions of Manjushri for many, many years. He denied. He told Manjushri to go away. Manjushri says, I'm really Manjushri. The only time he believed it was Manjushri is when the Manjushri talked to the Guru, and the Guru told Tsongkhapa, you got to acknowledge your vision. It's Manjushri, you know. And then Lama Tsongkhapa said, oh, if my Guru says so, it's Manjushri. Then he started talking to Manjushri. Manjushri's like, jeez. Everybody's like, appear to me, appear to me, appear to me, and I'm appearing to Tsongkhapa here, and he ignores me. Really, Tsongkhapa ignored him. Tsongkhapa felt he wasn't attained, he's not learned, he's not a good monk, he's very simple. Why would someone like him have the power to see Manjushri? That's what Lama Tsongkhapa thought about himself. Tsongkhapa, read his biography, bio. So finally, when Lama Umapa told him, he said, okay. And even when Lama Umapa told him, he acknowledged, listen to this. Manjushri told him what text to check, what text to look for, what this. Lama Tsongkhapa doesn't tell people, oh, you know, Manjushri dictated this to me, and then I had a vision, and you better study it because it came from Manjushri. He doesn't say that. He will tell you that this great master, or Shakyamuni, or this great Pandita wrote this, and it's in this commentary. Manjushri indicated to study this to get a more better view. And he validated everything he taught by scriptural knowledge, not by visions, although he had visions. But the visions didn't give him the knowledge. It directed him to where to study, how to study, and what retreats to do. In fact, Manjushri advised him to go into retreat and told him to do 1,000,000 prostrations and whatnot. Manjushri advised him to do what practice and what retreats. Not that now that you see Manjushri, you've achieved. No. And Manjushri even requested and told him what to study, what teachers to go to get what knowledge. Manjushri could teach it himself to him, but Manjushri didn't teach it himself to him. Why? How would that validate to his students and his students and students? Maybe immediately people who lived with Lama Tsongkhapa would believe that he had visions and believe that it's good. What about people like our generation, all the way down 600 years down the line, who say, well, how do we know that? But if Lama Tsongkhapa says, no, it came from this scripture, it came from this scripture, it came from here, and I validated with this, I did this practice, and I did this retreat, it works, and blah, 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 blah. And he validates it with clear scriptural reference. And then he says, oh, Manjushri asked me to study this. And you go, oh, better. Much better. I'm not saying that people who have visions are invalid. No. I'm saying that for today's world, Lama Tsongkhapa's method works very well. Because even when Lama Tsongkhapa had visions, the visions directed him to what Lama, and what practice, and what text to study. There was no shortcuts even for Lord Tsongkhapa himself to have an example for all of us. Imagine that. I had a vision, Manjushri told me to study this and practice this, and then I give you this, and you do that. You're like, but did you really? I mean, when your mood is down, did you really have a vision of Manjushri? When your mood is up, wow, Manjushri taught my guru that, wow. But if you say, I study this, I don't even have to tell you Manjushri told me. If I study this and it's valid, it's from a real Buddhist master, debated upon from the monasteries by the great masters, and accepted by the Sangha. Accepted by the Sangha, accepted by the erudite masters during debates and meditation, and when they do it, it has results. And then you say, I studied that, or Buddha quoted that, or say that, then we do it, okay. Whether we choose to tell people that Manjushri told us to study that or not, doesn't even matter anymore. Does that make sense to everyone? That is Lord Tsongkhapa's qualities. That's why Lord Tsongkhapa's teachings match us so well these days, because you're educated. Because you are educated. Because you need something that has more reference than visions and deities and mystical things. They happen. But do we have the merit to accept? Even Lord Tsongkhapa did that. I read that today. So, We finished 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 10, and 11. We finished 19. We have 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 to do. Oh, 23 is finished. We have 24. I finished about 11 points or 12 points today, as I promised. Everything's included. So I'm going to request the kind writers to take my information. Some of the things that doesn't apply to the book, maybe the story about my guru, how I met him and all that stuff, maybe you don't need to put that in the book. It makes it too long. Maybe you want to. I'll leave it to all of you. But you break up the chapters. You break up what belongs where, and you get it from here, here, here. It's okay. I think you guys are good at that. I wouldn't want to disturb you, but the truth is I'm lazy. Let them deal with it. And when you follow your lineage very well, when you follow your practice very well. Okay, I'm going to talk just for a few more minutes because it's 1 o'clock, and then we can go off. But before I talk for a few more minutes, I want people to stand up, stretch your legs, and immediately sit down.